Prostitution is said to be one of the oldest living professions in the world today. Sex work still remains prevalent in society and continues to take place in many forms. Prostitution is perhaps the most infamous of these, and it is legal in the United States, with the exception to 8 counties in Nevada, where the law does allow for prostitution to be legal. But should prostitution be legal everywhere? The answer is yes, and I'm here to tell you why. Legalizing prostitution would create a safe environment for all sex workers. A study in 1993 showed that 93% of sex workers reported some type of sexual misconduct happening to them. This can include sexual assault, sexual abuse, or sexual harassment. Due to prostitution being illegal, many of these crimes go unreported because the person is afraid that they will get in trouble for partaking in sexual activities. With the legalization of prostitution, these workers will be able to go and report their crimes and allow for justice to be served. The United Nations Human Rights Council says that the criminalization of prostitution does not decrease the act in itself, but rather infringes on human rights and only increases the invulnerability of a sex worker. Another way to make things safer is to regulate brothels. Any business to stay open has to go through various inspections. Brothels would be no different. They would undergo various health inspections before they're even allowed to operate and continue to go through these inspections after they are open to ensure safety. They could also implement certain policies such as you must wear a condom during all sexual activities, and they could offer free STI testing to all their workers. This, in the end, provides safety not only for the worker, but also for the customer. Lastly, the legalization of sex work has the potential to decrease the demand for sex trafficking. Having a regulated business would decrease the need for unconsenting adults and children to be pulled into sex trafficking. Procon.org highlights an article from Natoko Yingwana that says that the impaired relationship between cops and prostitutes could be fixed for the legalization of prostitution. They would allow to be key informants and still be protected under the law in the fight against sex trafficking. Besides being safer, what other benefits does this have for the country? 1. The economy. Since it's already happening, why not make a profit out of it? Nevada is reporting $50 million for their 8 counties on brothels alone per year. The Netherlands is another country that is well known for legalizing prostitution, and they report 2.5 billion euros per year on brothels alone. This would also allow for law enforcement to save money and stop using money for the fight against prostitution and reallocate it to more pressing issues or save it altogether. Of course, there are 2 sides to every story. So what are the arguments against prostitution and how can they be solved? The arguments used against the legalization of prostitution usually has to do with the spread of sexually transmitted infections, morality, and just the overall discomfort with the ideas of selling sex. Criminalization of prostitution requires sex work to be done in such a hasty manner that to mitigate the risk of being arrested. As stated above, legalizing prostitution would allow a safe place for these sexual acts to take place and therefore more time for these regulations to be enforced, such as condom wearing. This will decrease the need for the risk of sexually transmitted infections being spread. Since the legalization of prostitution in the Netherlands, no studies have shown that STIs are at an increase. In fact, more studies show that it stayed at a steady rate before and after they legalized prostitution. The second argument is morality. Morality usually comes from a religious standpoint. Well, the United States has freedom of religion, and therefore religion should take no place and have no part of the rules and regulations and laws put forth by the United States government. Lastly, discomfort is often a thing that people will experience when the idea of selling sex comes into play. The harsh reality of it is that sex is sold everywhere around you all the time. This is seen in pornography, OnlyFans, strip clubs. movie ads. Sex is a part of your everyday life and you see it all the time. So what's the difference between all those things and prostitution? Anna Marie Foreste from Harvard Law Civil Liberties Review highlights this. There are none. People are just inherently uncomfortable with the honest relationship of sex and money that comes along with prostitution. They are able to turn their eye to all the other ones and not really recognize the relationship that's happening between them. All in all, sex work is a part of our lives and will continue to be a part of our lives for many years to come. So to protect these individuals, we must legalize prostitution. We must shut down the black markets. And besides providing safety benefits, it will benefit our economy as well. Every single person has the right to decide what happens to their body, when it happens to their body, and how it happens to their body. The legalization of prostitution will do nothing but enhance a person's personal freedom that is guaranteed to them under the Constitution. Thank you for watching.